you a Taylor Swift fan? Like, no BS here.
Her music?
Just are you a Taylor Swift fan?
Not. I wouldn't say fan. I tolerate her songs. I don't listen to any. Like, I have maybe 1 or 2 songs on my.
Nothing's on repeat though.
No, never. 1 or 2 songs on my playlist that I'll listen to and be like, yeah, this is a good song.
Do you like newer ones, or is it all old Taylor Swift?
Like mid, old. Like old to me is like country Taylor Swift,
Right,
because she started
country.
Yeah. New, she just, I don't know. She has so many albums now and everything.
It's crazy. I never really got that, but like, it's got to be the equivalent, like men's sports teams.
The following she has?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's almost bigger.
Oh yeah, for sure. How about did you see the guy that tracks her plane?
Yeah.
Brutal. She takes a 15-minute flight.
It's insane.
That's so
Did
crazy.
you see? I saw a meme. It was like a private jet, like landed in the stadium of Allegiant. It was like Taylor Swift on her way down to the field after the game.
I think those are so funny. The ones that, where it's like Taylor Swift on her way to the grocery store, and it's like the Top Gun Maverick starting up the jet. That stuff's so funny to me.
Well, because I mean, when you have that much money, why wouldn't you private jet?
15
everywhere?
minutes, you don't have any of the traffic. Nobody's got their eyes on you.
No.
If I had a private jet,
except for the one guy tracking your flight, he's got you.
Did you see all the memes of Travis Kelce yelling at Andy Reid?
Yeah.
Did you see the one where it was like she pays enough carbon taxes to offset her carbon footprint or something? It's just him yelling at Andy Reid.
That's awesome.
Like, that's funny. Or I showed one to Emily. She's a big Harry Potter fan, so it was the Harry, did you put your name in the goblet of fire? It was Travis Kelce yelling.
That was a crazy. When I saw that live,
I was
Travis screaming at Andy Reid. Like, what could he?
That was right after Rashid Rice caught a massive play too.
Yeah. Well, it was because they took him out of the game, and I think it was a running play, and the Pacheco got blown up, which forced them to kick the field goal, and whatever the backup tight end, I don't think it was their Noah Gray, because Noah Gray's pretty good too, but whatever the third string tight end was, just completely missed the block. It would have been Travis Kelce's block.
And he went
over to Andy Reid, and
Yep.
a bunch of lip readers were saying, like,
That's what he was
keep me
doing.
in the freaking game type of
Hey, it's
screaming.
passionate time.
Yeah. in the Super
Passionate
Bowl.
time. Here we go. We're back with another round at Sweet Shots. In case you couldn't tell, we're a 2-man show today. The adults are out of the room. Well, I guess technically, legally, we are adults, but definitely doesn't feel like it.
No, not yet.
Not yet. So I think this one will probably be a little more fun, hopefully. Hopefully, not as much, stern looks. I feel like every once in a while we get some stern looks out of them. Some glares.
Glare.
Yeah. Live golf, especially.
Yeah, it's a
and everything's
touchy
on the
subject.
table today. Everything's on the table. It feels good to be free
does.
and be able to talk about it. But as we were getting into it beforehand, so this coming fresh off the Super Bowl. And what a week for Mark and Chuck to not be here for this show, because so much had happened between Super Bowl, Waste Management. Now we're going into Tiger, returning at Riv. I mean, we'll get into all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But heck of a Sunday.
Yeah.
And we touched on it with Taylor. Heck of a Sunday for Taylor Swift and her fans.
Yeah, good for her. Congratulations to Taylor on
yeah.
her Super Bowl win.
Her boyfriend is okay at football. I mean,
He's
that's
a
pretty
decent
good.
football player.
Yeah. The other memes that I saw was like, one, Taylor's boyfriend, and then, what was it? Oh, that, of course, Taylor Swift fans win on their first Super Bowl. Like, they've been football fans for a year, and they win their first Super Bowl. And then we got us over here just struggling to get by. It's another year. I was talking to Jim Honnell when he walked in today, and it was, football season's over. But that means that this year's our year.
This is
for the Vikes.
This is the new year. It's our year.
It starts right now. Starts today.
I'm all for it.
You're all for it.
Yep. Super Bowl 59? Yeah.
Yep.
59 Vikings.
New Orleans. We're going to New Orleans.
Is that where it is?
Yep.
I was just asking Chuck yesterday where it was. We couldn't figure it
Pretty
out.
sure it's New Orleans.
That would be a cool one.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah. How about if you're Vikings there, you taking taking a quarterback first round?
I actually saw something earlier today that the Patriots with the 3rd pick are considering trading back, and the 2 teams that are most interested are the Vikings and the Falcons.
Trading back?
Trading back, so the Vikings would trade probably the 10th pick back or up to the 3rd for a quarterback. But I don't know. I just really don't know where we're going with that, because right now, Kirk Cousins, if we re-signed Kirk Cousins, I'd say we could get him for 2 years. I mean, that's all the rumors are 2 years, 40 million a year or something like that. Justin Jefferson obviously wants to play for the Vikings. Stay with Kirk. They have that dynamic.
You have to keep Justin.
You have to. We have to pay the guy. I think we have his 5th-year option this year, and then we have to pay him next year. So if Kirk can take a pay cut, I think we keep Kirk and maybe draft something in the next couple of years.
Get somebody that can learn behind him. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have to use... Like, we can keep the 10th, pick up a lineman or some sort of defense, something. Then later, 2nd round, or trade back into it late in the 1st and grab a
QB there. QB. I think there's a lot of options for us to win this Super Bowl. There's a lot of roads.
And I saw a stat, because so many people are pushing for, like, you need a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal to make any push into the playoffs. 9 of the last 10 Super Bowls, or maybe it was 10 of 10, have been, like, the quarterback that's won the Super Bowl has been off. No, it has been 9 out of 10 because Mahomes is the only one. But 9 of the 10 quarterbacks that have won the Super Bowl, of the last 10 quarterbacks, have been off their rookie contract. They're not. It's not
so
a rookie.
There's no reason to have a push for a rookie. I think Kirk could do it.
Yeah, he's got the weapons.
He's got the weapons, and he's a heck of a leader.
And he's got the time. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Absolutely. I said that from first year we drafted him, when or not drafted, but traded for him. When he has time in the pocket, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's got a heck of an arm, and he's got all the weapons that'll make the catches for him. But you got to give the guy protection.
Yeah.
And then he makes good plays. It was refreshing to see a runner, with Dobbs and even Mullins to some extent. But okay, enough about the Vikings, because that's next year. Yeah, next year when they win the Super Bowl, we can talk about it all the time. But this Super Bowl, Kansas City 49ers, that I think we continue. We're a betting podcast. We talk about that. So I know I had some money down on the line. You had some money down on the line.
Sure did.
Did you have a favorite bet? One that hit? I mean, was it just like it spoke to you? Or was this like, gut feeling here, gut feeling there? What's your go-to?
The easiest bet to place for me was the fantasy points over on Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
That 49ers offense only goes through Christian McCaffrey.
It is Christian McCaffrey.
He will touch the ball 95% of the time on offense.
Occasionally, Debo. But then he had a little hammy injury, and it was going straight back to Christian McCaffrey. I like that. That's the fantasy points one. That I had one with him on it. One of mine that hit.
Yeah.
Had that.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I sent this to you. I sent two different bets with two legs. And these were my favorite, actually. So I sent you the one with anytime TDs. Mm-hmm. I had Christian McCaffrey. You needed 2 of them, which I thought that was almost a lock.
Yeah.
And then you had, was it Rashid Rice or who was it, with another anytime TD for the Chiefs? And I sent that one to you, and I said, we're cheering for points.
Points, yep.
And about 3 minutes later, I sent it to you. If we don't get points, and then I picked up the 2 punters.
Yeah.
So I was sitting pretty good after the first half. A lot of punts.
Did you hit the bet on punts on the first half?
Nah, I didn't hit it till the fourth quarter, because the Chiefs one. The Chiefs needed to punt inside the 20 for those to count.
That fumble punt, that counted?
That counted
as your lock.
Yeah, I was sitting there with one of my buddies, and I was like, okay, I think that's going to be about the 18, and oh my gosh, he dropped it. I was like, I texted you. I was like, that's got to count. You got to count that. Oh, and then I pulled it up, and it was green. So that worked. We were debating that when we were sitting there, but that worked. It was just a weird game. Started slow.
Yeah, first half, I was really disappointed. I mean, everyone we were watching with all my friends, like, this is an awful Super Bowl. Then after overtime, after the game was done, I'm like, that was a really good Super Bowl. Yeah,
the second half was very entertaining.
Yeah.
How about, did you watch any of it on Nickelodeon?
No, I never did. I saw a lot of clips. I was told to watch it. I never actually got to it.
Really?
And watched it, but I was hearing from people that it was actually better than the real broadcast, which I can believe. Because
they're
Tony
like
Romo,
unhinged.
no offense to Tony Romo if he's listening, but they can't have Tony Romo in the Super Bowl again. I thought he was awful.
He did not provide, and we had the volume on pretty low. It was also my mother-in-law's birthday, so we were singing happy birthday and having all that. But it did not seem like he provided a whole lot of context.
No.
Like he usually, or like when Tony Romo started, it was like, okay, here's a play that they're calling, here's a play that they're running, and then they did it.
Yeah.
And now it's like they totally kneecapped him. He doesn't even do that anymore, and it's like pointless anecdotes, kind of.
No, it is. And it's obvious. He's saying the most obvious things to me. Like, he's like, well, if they don't get this conversion here on third down, they're going to kick the field goal. I'm like, well, it is 4th and 8, so I would hope so. Like
from the 30.
Yeah. It's like it's like, yeah, we all knew that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so then you got Spongebob and Patrick on the other side over there calling the game. Like unhinged. You got Patrick's yelling at Christian McCaffrey to firmly grasp the ball.
Yeah. It sounded funny. I tried to convince my friends to turn it over for a little bit, but we couldn't get it over.
Really?
Yeah, the vote did not go in my favor.
If I could have, I think I would have listened because I was the same thing. I saw some clips and it was like, that's pretty fun. And then they got slime all over the field and Plankton was attacking it at some point. Yeah. I think it was actually probably more entertaining for the adults watching than it was the kids.
Oh, yeah. Well, and especially the adults who grew up, like Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck would have loved it. I'm sure he got watched. That's all he watched. Chuck loved SpongeBob growing up.
I did too.
I think you watched more SpongeBob than I did.
But between Mark and Chuck, that was so like we weren't allowed to watch it with my mom in the room because she hated it. So my dad and I, we'd just go downstairs and we'd watch SpongeBob. The best one was the when he gets stuck in the not the underworld or whatever the dark one is.
Yeah.
It's like I don't understand your accent. That one was good. We always quote the Flying Dutchman one.
You're good.
You're good.
You're good. And stop.
Yeah, don't worry, Captain. We'll buff out those scratches. It's just it's so iconic, that show. Yeah. Oh my goodness, is that a good show? But talk about iconic. Did you see JJ Watt's hair?
I did. That was bad.
That's like Backstreet Boys. That's like early 2000s frosted tips.
Yeah, spiked up to No Tomorrow.
Like long hair, like not a short spike.
Right. No. Yeah, it was all over. And
is that
his tweet? Did you see his tweet after?
What did his tweet say?
He's like, oh, what did it say exactly? It was something along the lines of like, you go in to change your hairstyle, thinking no one will notice. And then you put a period. He's like, enter, goes to the bottom line. He's like, everyone notices. Like, I
just want to know.
Try to spice up your life and change your hair.
Oh, gosh.
I hope no one notices. Everyone
They're
notices.
going to notice. Yeah, I mean.
Well, you picked the biggest game of the year.
Biggest game, most eyeballs, and then you pick a frosted tips look that hasn't been around in 20 years.
Never done before.
It was like,
pull it off.
I don't know what the decision, if that's just strictly a PR stunt or what, but that was.
He must have maybe lost a bet. Maybe that was like his fantasy football.
He had to have lost a bet.
In fantasy football.
Imagine like coming from playing football and you take last in fantasy football. That's your punishment. Oh, geez. Okay, let's wrap this up because I do one question I wanted to ask as far as wrap this up on Super Bowl. But what I wanted to ask was, would you pay the $8,000 entrance price? That was like to get in the door.
Yep.
$8,000.
Well, I was actually going to ask you a similar question. So this kind of ties into it because my question was, would you go to the Super Bowl if your team was in? Like for us, the Vikings. So with that $8,000 price for a Chiefs-Niners game in Vegas, no, I wouldn't pay $8,000. Even if I had the money, probably not. Well, maybe if I had the money. Just because I love Vegas so much. But no, I don't think I would have gone and paid that much.
I would have gone to that.
Was like minimum. Like that was average price, wasn't it? $8,000 or was
no, that was
like,
minimum.
Yeah, you're up
that was
top.
minimum.
Yeah.
That was nosebleeds.
But if it was the Vikings in the Super Bowl,
first Super Bowl of our lifetime,
I would go.
Like, would you go into debt to get there?
No.
Because think about how early in advance you have to buy these tickets.
Yeah.
They're still gambling on the fact that because you would have to get them during the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You would have to still get, plus airfare, which airfare into these parts is...
Not, and then not housing, but... hotel you got to pay for...
And hotels are going to be expensive.
Crazy.
So you got to think, at least with an $8,000 price, you're probably looking at $9,500? Another $15 for travel and lodging?
Yeah, probably north of 10K.
I would.
No, not
You wouldn't go into debt for Super Bowl?
No. Even for the Vikings. I'm okay with watching it in the comfort of my home.
It is probably better watching.
Because then no one can judge me. I'm going through all the emotions. If
You probably are. Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, Chiefs, Niners, I'll go stand there with a bunch of randoms and
cheer for football.
Yeah.
Put a couple bets down.
But Vikings, I would either way. Like, I'm either getting offered tickets to go Super Bowl. Heck yeah, I'm going. I wouldn't go in debt, but I'd pay to go. If I have to go in debt, I'm fine sitting at home watching.
Yeah, I like that. I think if the team was that good enough, right, where it's just like I'm committed, I might take out a small loan to go to the first Super Bowl of my life.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine being there for their first Super Bowl.
It would be so cool.
I think I could be convinced to go.
But
and spend the
imagine
money.
taking out a loan to watch them lose their 6th or 7th Super Bowl.
No. Yeah, that would be significantly
It's a tough pill to
more.
swallow.
We need to get better at DraftKings in order to get to this Super Bowl.
We really do.
That's
our year.
This is our year.
This is our year. We get better DraftKings and the Vikings.
And the Viking. It's all going to go hand in hand.
Yep.
My DraftKings is gonna fund that.
Yep.
All right, I like that. Enough football though, because that was probably 20 minutes of football. 5 of that being Taylor Swift. I mean, good for her. Good for her.
She
But
deserves 5 minutes.
okay, before we get into, I know Mark and Chuck like to save the golf talk for the end, but it's a waste management, and this is like the least golf tournament of the year.
Oh yeah.
So we got to get into that a little bit. But before that, like today, we recorded on Tuesday. Actually, it was probably late last night. On Monday, Tiger reveals his new clothing brand. Did you see that?
I did.
I think we talked about it a little bit. They call it Sunday Red.
Sunday Red, yep. We've
And
talked about it in the past, I think, a tiny bit.
A little bit, yep. Well, I believe so. The bet that we had, Pros and Joes.
Yeah.
Was it Pros and Joes? How'd that end up?
Well, might have been.
I got to go listen to that.
Might have
I
been Mark
know
and
I was right.
I think we did the same teams
Was
as us.
it?
Yeah.
So Tiger partners with.
No, we 3. It was the 3 of us against you. You were
Somebody
the one.
switched though. I said I would go 3-1.
We'd have to look back.
Yeah, somebody switched, but I said I would go 3-1. So we did Tiger Woods or the field. He gets his own brand or the field, right?
Yep.
And he partnered with TaylorMade, so it's the field.
It's
the field hits.
Yep.
And so it's Sunday Red is what they're calling it. I don't know. First, before we look at the designs, what are your Sunday Red? And it's not Sunday as in the day. It's 2 words.
Yeah, 2
Sunday Red.
I like it. At first, I wasn't a huge fan until I actually saw it embroidered on the clothes.
Really?
Yeah, and the hat. And
There's a lot of mixed reactions out there
I
right
kind
now.
of like it. Yeah.
I can get behind it. I think the logo looks really similar to the Schlesinger. You see that?
Yeah.
But I actually don't mind it. I really like the sweatshirt that he's got. It's a big tiger logo right across there. So he's got like a leaping tiger. And it's interesting. I saw this from the company. The Tiger's got 15 stripes, which is for the 15 majors that Tiger's won.
Oh, yeah.
And then the name comes from, and I think it's really cheesy, but it's they said born from being outside in the sun. There's sun.
Yeah.
The joy of playing golf during the day. So there's day. And then red comes from Tiger Woods' red. Mm-hmm. So interesting little play on words. I think it's pretty cheesy.
Yeah.
But I actually think their lifestyle wear that I saw was better than the golf attire.
Really?
The polo, I don't know. I'm not a huge I don't think the logo looks good small for whatever reason.
Sure.
It's a good big logo.
Yeah.
But I will be buying a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
A lot of it.
I already know I'm gonna.
Comes out May 1.
It's gonna be.
I'm at least getting a
sell
sweatshirt.
so fast.
Well, and that's where people are just absolutely dragging it online, and it's like, you guys, it's Tiger Woods' brand.
They're dragging it now. They're buying it on May 1st.
They will buy it on May 1st. They're gonna go back and they're gonna be like, well, actually, this is a pretty cool design. Yeah, the logo's iffy, but actually,
But I'll still buy it.
But I'll still buy it. Yeah, I think that they're going to do so much money. Tiger's going to absolutely kill it.
Oh yeah, TaylorMade. That was a great signing.
Great signing.
So what happens when Tiger wins another major? They just add an extra stripe on his tail.
just
His
like
tail
a
just
like a
grows.
+1. That's a good point.
Eventually, it's just all the way over.
Yeah, when he wins another major,
keep recentering the logos. Yeah, I
Just
mean, but really, if he ever wins
they
another
just
major,
issue a recall of all of the stuff they sold to add another stripe. No, that's a good question. I actually didn't think about that because he plays well at the Masters. He won it in 2019.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if he can ever get back to where he was in 2019, back to that, like,
well, he's hungry. He did an interview. He wants to win the Genesis right now. I mean, if he's going to do it, I think he could do it. He's Tiger Woods of all things. Yeah, that'd be funny.
Marketing team really wants him to not succeed.
Right, they kind of handcuffed him right here with like 15.
Yeah, like
Tiger luck. We'll
pay you more to choke a major's win away.
It's like throwing a match in boxing. Oh, geez. There's your next golf conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
is that Tiger's now going to throw majors? So TaylorMade's paying him more money to throw majors.
The PGA will
so they don't have to change their logo.
Yeah,
calling it right here. Okay, my last question with this one. Mm-hmm. If somebody comes to you and goes, Nick, we want to sign you.
Yep.
Who is the brand that you would pick? So like TaylorMade comes to you, or Nike or Under Armour, whatever it is. Who are you signing with? Who's your go-to brand?
That's a good question. I've always been, when I played PJ on my Xbox and all those games where I was going to get signed, I was always Nike. I mean, I'm repping it today. Nike. I've always been a Nike guy. I think I wore probably the same pair of Nike shoes. I would just buy a new pair of the same
shoes
for all of middle school and into high school. Like I loved Nike. So until recently, I went to the On Clouds, but I'm always.
I don't think they make golf equipment.
I don't
On
think
Clouds,
they can. But maybe that's what they need to sign me.
They do. Lululemon got into it.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did.
With Minwoo.
Yeah, I saw that.
Minwoo Lee. Would you wear Lulu on the golf course?
I don't own any Lulu, but I've been put on.
You don't own any Lulu?
Zero. I've never been.
You are missing out,
sucked in. I know. I've been pushed into the Lulu world and people are trying to convince me to buy. Especially
I have the same,
but I haven't. Never have.
I have the same pair of joggers. It's been almost 8 years now.
Really?
They're awesome.
Impressive.
They're like my fall joggers, so I don't wear them in the dead of winter. But for lounging around fall, early spring when you need pants, but yeah, it's really good.
I should.
This is a Lulu ad. Sponsor me.
Well, don't they? I mean, I think that pair of joggers, even if they had a rip or anything, you could bring them in now and they would still.
I think so.
I think they're
really good about it.
They're good about it.
I mean,
that's what I've heard.
They're on the expensive side, but
that's the only reason. That's the thing that scares me is I know if I buy a pair and like them, for how expensive they are, I'm just gonna get sucked in.
Yeah. Well, and like, I would maybe get one Lulu thing a year. You know,
sure.
And they last so long. I mean, I think I've got 3 shirts and sweatpants.
Okay. So you're set for 4 years.
At least I got the sweatpants for 8 years.
Yeah, true. That's true.
I haven't gotten anything this year, though.
Maybe I'll jump on the chip.
I recommend it, but okay. So you're a Nike guy for golf.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, they're getting rid of their golf.
Well, are we talking
attire?
Okay, so we're talking specifically golf.
Well, obviously. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. That was kind of the idea.
I just have always been Nike with everything, so that's why I went Nike. But
I guess I got like their Air Jordan line, but
I just play so many different. My bag's just a combo of everything.
Right, but this is just clothing. It's not getting no clubs, just clothing.
Okay. You go first. Let me think.
Okay. Well, I think so. I thought I was going to get on the Adidas train, and I'm going to walk that back. And for whatever reason, I haven't really clicked with Adidas recently.
Okay.
I'm weirdly becoming more of an Under Armour fan, like with their shoes.
Yeah, I do like the Under Armour.
But I never really liked their shirts.
They're so plain.
They're
just a solid.
There's not a great. So like logo. I'm kind of in between. Nike shoes are always tight for me, so I wasn't ever going to say Nike. Definitely want to do Melbourne. You ever seen Jason Day's stuff? Yeah. That's not my style. I would probably lean still Adidas.
Yeah.
But I'm not thrilled with their shoes recently. Trying to think the other ones that I like.
Puma?
Oh, yeah.
I love Puma shoes. Do they make clothes?
They do. I'm actually a big Puma fan.
Their clothes, but I love their shoes. That's all I've worn in golf.
Big Puma
maybe I would
fan.
Go Puma. I think that's my answer. I don't know what their clothes look like, but their shoes have won me over enough where I would wear whatever they're making.
I think I'm gonna stick with Adidas. I can make that work.
Okay.
Definitely. I know I'm on staff with Callaway and they've got Travis Matthews, but it's a little too beachy for me. Yeah. Not quite the performance I'm looking for, but you know what? But Puma's a good one. I like Puma.
Yeah, we'll stick with Puma then.
Their new
Oh, now you did it.
Oh, now I did it. Okay. Their new collab with Ricky Fowler looks sweet.
Yeah, it is.
Looks sweet. All right. Well, then let's get into this because we're going to pivot hard and let's get right into the waste management.
Yep.
Going right up against the Super Bowl, but honestly, I don't think that hurt it at all.
No.
Because it was a total, and sorry, Kylie, get the beeper ready, but total bleep show.
It was bad.
That is the worst I've seen a golf tournament in a long time.
They were cut off from drinking.
They were.
Dial it in, LJ.
Dial it in. They were literally, not figuratively cut off.
No,
they literally got cut off from drinking the entire tournament.
Wasn't it? I thought it was Saturday.
Sales. Yeah,
Saturday.
the entire
Yes.
golf course.
Yes.
The tournament grounds got cut off
all day
for
Saturday.
sales. So I think if you were, no, the VIP stuff they were still selling, so you couldn't get drinks.
Sure.
But it was, I saw somebody was a bartender there, and put out a video explaining that the ticket checkers at GA just gave up and started letting all these people in. And then those people, because they got in for free, they just started walking into VIP areas and buying all this alcohol. And everybody was way overserved. And they just said, that's it, we're done serving. It was the police and the firefighters that said, you guys got to stop. Because I guess this guy said that there was 500,000 fans there or something like that.
Insane.
It's so crazy. I would cut it off too. I mean, I've got a list of stuff here that was going that happened this week at the show. So you got cut off alcohol sales, obviously, right? Shut the gates. Then you've got a spectator fell out of the grandstand and got injured. You've got fights going on, drunk fights.
I saw so many videos of fights.
People just beating up on each other at a golf course. You got somebody jumping into a bunker to do sand angels.
I think he looked like he almost tore both knees.
That was the least graceful fall. I mean, he was
tried to land and just both knees buckled underneath him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his game plan was there, but he pulled it off. I mean, the sand angel, it was after he landed, it was pretty natural.
He then rolled into a somersault and got up and going.
So you got sand angel, and then the amount of mudslides I saw, people just sliding down the hill.
Well, there were a lot of purposeful mudslides and a lot of drunk stumbling down I saw so many videos of guys gravity winds type videos.
Oh yeah, guys just falling over. People just couldn't stand. They were so drunk,
and no one was helping each other.
Nobody was. It was like Wii Fest at a golf course.
Yeah,
it was brutal. And then on top of that, you got two notable pros. You got Zach Johnson and Billy Horschel just going after fans when they're playing.
Yeah, Gavin McShoot.
Shooter McGavin.
Shooter McGavin.
You even a real fan,
I was
bro?
wait a minute. That's not its own backwards. What the heck? Yeah.
But Gavin McShooter.
I was that didn't feel right, but it was close. But no, they were ripping into the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, almost.
Billy Horschel's was
Billy.
He swore at the fan. I mean, he was like, "It's our effing
that
job."
One I could get behind because they were talking excessively behind.
Zach, you're talking?
No,
Billy Horschel. Yeah.
Whoever, I don't know who was swinging because Billy wasn't actually swinging.
Yeah, it was his playing partner, but the guys were talking
so loudly in his backswing.
Well, and then you got Jordan Spieth on 18. Did you see that? He had that one too, where he almost he hit a good shot, but in typical Jordan Spieth fashion, he was like, "What the heck?" He was pointing at the gallery. I mean, it was just a total crapshoot of going down there. And I had a buddy, Jake Beatty, he went down there on Sunday.
I saw that.
And he said they just sat outside. They had a box from the place that he worked, and they sat outside there, and there was a mudslide, and people were falling. And he said the crowd would just cheer anytime when somebody would fall. But
so funny.
Yeah, I mean that was probably the worst that I've seen it.
Yeah,
in a long time. It's not a great look for the PGA versus Live whole deal.
Do you think, though, at the same time, it almost could be seen as, not good publicity, but for the game of golf itself, to show, hey, we actually kind of have a good time. I know it got to a point where it was okay, this is too far.
It crossed a line.
It did cross the line, but almost maybe it was good that it crossed the line because it gave so much more.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a player and you're going to go play in that, at this point, you have to know that's what you're getting into.
Yeah.
it is not going to be a normal golf tournament.
Not at all.
You have to be okay with people talking in your backswing, drunk idiots. You just have to be okay with that. I don't know if that's the future of golf that I'm necessarily feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Like I don't want more than this tournament to be like that.
No, it has to stay at the Waste
It is
Management.
that's the only time, like, God forbid the Masters ever turns into something like that. But or like,
you can't ever turn something like that. But I could see, like, it surprises me that the Ryder Cup or anything like that hasn't turned into more of a Waste Management style where it's just like
interesting.
Let them go.
Yeah,
because it's such a laid back team format where it's like
it's rowdy. You're supposed to be
back
rowdy.
And forth. You're supposed to get into it.
But there's almost like an agreement that you're not going to be like. You still have the gentlemanly, like the first tee, unless they ask you to pump it up. The first tee is silent at the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
So look at these, the All Stars. Got the Greatsers and Mama Johnson. Mama Johnson strolling through. Yeah, that's an interesting point with the Ryder Cup,
because I don't hate the bad publicity. I think more non-golfers know now what the Waste Management is just from these videos.
Oh yeah.
But obviously in their mind now it's like, okay, we just go and get drunk. But it puts them on the idea of, hey, golf could be more fun than.
I do think though that tournament is going to lose. Like, the stars are not going to go want to play there. Yeah. Want to go play there.
They won't. Not if. I mean, we'll see next year what happens.
Yeah.
If it's gonna. Who agrees to go play, and then how rowdy it gets.
How rowdy it gets.
If they cut off.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting tournament, and at least this year it provided a lot of good drama down the stretch. Did you watch much of it? I know you were watching the Super Bowl, but
I watched the first couple days pretty closely, but once Super Bowl was kicking off,
you're zoned in.
I didn't really watch the end of
it. Was interesting. The leaderboard was pretty bland up until, you got Scheffler.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cantlay might have snuck in there, and then you got Sam Burns.
Yep.
Just not a whole lot of big names. And then actually the point that I wanted to bring up today, and thankfully Mark and Chuck, well, Mark more so, isn't here, but you look at the live leaderboard, you had John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Cam Smith. You had Tyrrell Hatton, I think, was up there. I mean, the live leaderboard, strength of field, it was exactly what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
And Dustin Johnson ended up winning. They were played in Vegas. Whoa.
Vegas. That's Vegas.
They played in Vegas. And I just love Dustin Johnson. He just doesn't care.
No,
he rammed home a 4-footer for the win, and he just like a light little fist pump. It was like,
he got his money.
Never change. Yeah, he does not care at all. But it was interesting because it was like, the biggest name at the Waste Management was like Scheffler at the top of the leaderboard, and then everybody else. You got Nick Taylor and Charlie Hoffman, who's 47 years old. And it's just stuff like that where it's like not exactly the names that you really want to get your attention, right?
Yep.
So in that sense, I think that's where the Waste Management, if it's not an elevated event, loses.
Yep.
Just because you don't get the big names that show up. But obviously there's an event within the event, and that's just like a drinking competition with the fans, basically.
Yep.
But anyway, as far as the results, okay, let's get into the results. So you got Nick Taylor ends up winning it over Charlie Hoffman, which Charlie Hoffman came from absolutely nowhere. Yeah. Like I said, 47 years old, and he just always he's sponsored by WM, so he's a sponsors exemption spot, and the guy just turned it on in the last 6 holes. He went like eagle, birdie, and then parred out, and at the time he had like a 3-shot lead. Yeah, 3-shot lead.
Yeah.
And then Nick Taylor birdies 3 of his last 4 to get in.
To force a playoff.
Yeah. He goes birdie, par, birdie.
Wow.
To force a playoff, and then he birdies both the playoff holes.
To win.
So to win.
Yeah.
And Charlie Hoffman had on. I mean, it was really good golf. But it's funny too because this whole year for the PGA Tour has been what they're calling the year of the long shot. When you talk about betting
for winning,
every winner has been 100-1, or is it worse? Do you call those worse odds?
Yeah.
100 odds, 100-1 or worse. The best one was Wyndham Clark when he won last week. He was 100-1. Everybody else, Like Nick Taylor this week was 120 to 1. And you got Nick Dunlap was 300 to 1. Grayson Murray was 400 to 1. Was that Chris Kirk?
Yeah.
Yeah, 200 to 1. 200, 400, 300, 120, and 100.
Wow.
So none of even
favorites.
like somebody that's remotely a favorite has won.
Or even just like the mid guys. Like
Or even the mid guys.
Morikawa
Yeah.
or
Like
a Hovland
an 80 to 1 or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's like, so that was, when I saw that, that's going to change my outlook here a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can slam favorites.
So hard to predict, though. I mean,
vice
versa. I mean, so many favorites up top you could bet on. And then so many long shots. I mean, there's so many more long shots now. You have to. I mean,
and that's part of it is live because you got guys that like other favorites that would probably be right up at the top anyway are no longer there. So you're going to get these long shots. Anybody on the PGA Tour, I think, can succeed and can obviously go out and shoot 62. How about jumping around here? Did you see the Corn Ferry guy? Did you see the Corn Ferry scores?
Wasn't it like
57?
Yeah, I was going to say 58.
57. That's the lowest score ever recorded in PGA Tour
57?
history. PGA Tour sanctioned history. 57.
That's insane.
With the par.
57.
Yeah, it was insane.
That.
He goes 57, 69. He's behind by 1 after day 2.
Wow.
So you got the day he shot 57, there was like 5 other 62s. And then the next day, somebody goes out and shoots 59 at the same course. It was insane. It was a total birdie fest.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's crazy.
So
Good for him.
I guess my point is tie that back into the long shots. There's so much talent out there that we just don't know and we haven't heard of.
Not yet.
We don't have the characters that we did in like a Rom or a Hatton or the DJ, like the people that they're taking. But
I mean, live if times have changed just because of live.
I will say some of my favorite things on Live are just the Rom and Tyrrell Hatton hot mics. It's like all of the highlights I see coming out of there is just Rom saying the F-bomb or Hatton saying the F-bomb. Like one of the two of them, it's got to be, if it's a Live highlight, it's them swearing at some shot that they just hit. Or like John Rahm was asking, it was funny. So the clip was John Rahm and his caddy asking somebody to silence their phones as they were taking pictures, and in the background's just this the EDM music, and he's like asking, hey, please put your phone on. Yeah,
turn the phone off.
Like, bro, you know what you signed up for here. Yeah. Like same thing as the Waste Management. You know, like Zach Johnson's deal. Like he even said, he's like, look, we can choose to play here, and it's like, okay, then don't play here.
Yeah.
If you don't like the event, don't play here.
Right. It's not like it's been like this forever. I mean, it wasn't this bad.
But
this is how
you know what you're getting into. Yeah. So the other non-surprise of the tournament was Scotty Scheffler.
Yep.
Top 3.
It's unbelievable.
He's a machine, but we talk about it every week, and I'm begging Scotty to change something so we don't have to mention the same thing every week. But the dude was the best. He was the best in the tournament for strokes gained approach. He was second best on strokes gained off the tee. So... okay, that's pretty good.
Perfect. Yeah.
Then he's 58th around the green. That's like on the bottom half. And then he was 40th in putting.
Just no touch.
So it's like, dude, okay, imagine that putting stat gets in like anywhere near the top 10. Scotty shoots 25 and it's not even close.
Would not be close.
He missed a 4-footer, I think, coming home.
I saw that one.
And it's like, how do you not fix something?
He has to be going home and putting all day. Every day, and still nothing's changing. I don't understand what he could be doing, or he just
honestly, maybe it's just reads. I've been at a point where it's like it seems like I can never get a read.
What it feels like it's been 2 years now of no putting?
Oh, easily.
I mean, eventually.
When do you win the Masters? 21.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah. So since he won the Masters, basically, is what I would say.
Because we have the Masters here.
Yeah.
2 months, but. Yeah, I
mean, it's like, dude,
eventually, if you're saying it's a reading like funk, eventually you can get out of it.
You would go back to something.
He's got to be so in his own head though about it. I mean, he knows.
He finishes 3 strokes back, tied for 3rd, and he's 40th in putting. 40th. That's unbelievable. So he's just got to have a decent week this week. Hopefully, he figures something out. But. Yeah. Any final notes with Waste Management? What do you? Here's my question to you: what do you do to kind of rein it in? Like, do you think cutting off alcohol sales was over the top?
I don't know. I think in the situation they were in, I don't know what else they would have done. If they got to the point where they were just letting anyone in, they had to cut them off. I mean,
yeah,
I think probably the best fix is to just cut people off at the door. Like you can't let everyone in.
No,
It was like, I mean, we
it was a free for all. Yeah,
Morgan Wallen was
just
the
let
same thing.
just
They
bring
let
people.
everyone in. They got so
Don't even
sick
care.
Of,
Yeah.
They have to draw a line. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know what they can do. That's why I'm excited to see what they do next year.
Do you try and? I know we talked about it's got to stay there, but like, do you spread it out? Do you make another tournament, a party tournament, so that you don't get everybody flocking just to the waste management to get hammered because they know that hey, maybe there's another one down the road.
They could maybe do that. Maybe, yeah, I don't hate that. Maybe do like a Vegas.
You could do a Vegas event.
A tournament.
I did it again.
Really?
Vegas.
Yeah. Vegas.
The heck. Ah, jeez.
But I don't know. I don't really know what they can do.
Yeah, that
once you get that many people in a
500,000 people
in an area like that with that much alcohol and that
nothing
atmosphere,
good is going to happen.
I don't know if there's anything you can do but to not serve alcohol. You know,
right?
At that
you got to cut them off. Yep. All right. Well, okay. Let's get into this week's event. We're going no break today.
Yep.
No break. Right through it. We even got through some live discussion, and nobody gave a sour look.
I didn't feel any.
We laughed about it.
Glares.
We didn't even give them praise other than their leaderboard was good, but that's just the names. So if Mark and Chuck are listening,
music too. Good EDM music.
Good EDM music.
Yep.
Phones were a little loud.
I'll give them that. They've got some good EDM music. EDM,
big EDM fan over here.
Liv's doing one thing right. It's their
just
EDM
blasting EDM.
Maybe that's what the waste management needs.
You know how many times we said EDM? I feel like Mark and Chuck don't know what EDM music
I don't think
is.
so.
I doubt they would even. Mark, I can picture Mark right now. He goes, "That's not music."
What does EDM stand for? I don't
Electric dance music.
Yeah, that's okay.
So I guess calling it EDM music is redundant.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it is
EDM
music,
electric dance music.
Yeah,
you can't do that. Anyway, okay. So we're off to Riviera this week. This is Tigers. He's hosting this event again.
He's playing.
And he's playing. He's back.
He's back.
Since the hero. Yeah, I'm looking forward for him to step back on the.
So he's going to wear his Sunday red.
This is the debut.
This is it.
Right here.
Yeah.
It is
cool.
Well, he's got to make the cut.
That's
so it
true.
is. It's
well, I meant literally the
brand.
The
yeah.
brand, but
he's always wearing Sunday red.
Yes, every day. No, he just wears red.
Well, so that's an interesting point because it's an elevated event, and in the past, elevated events have not had cuts.
Sure.
So it's been a 4-day no cut event. It's a limited field, so there's only 70 players this week.
So is this is a cut field, or
there is a cut?
Okay.
So there's 70 players. They cut to top 50 in ties, and anyone within 10 strokes of the lead.
Okay.
So with only 70 players, there is a chance, and this is a funny thing. There is a chance one person could get cut.
Yeah, literally with 10 stroke.
Yep. So it was funny. I saw that there was somebody did a history. They're like, okay, with these rules, we'll go back and we'll look at how many players make the cut.
Sure.
With these rules. And you guys stick with me here. So 2023, it was 57 of them, 10 under.
Of the 70?
If there was 70.
If there was 70.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so 2022, 51 made the cut. So we're pretty normal. 2021, 55, pretty normal. Then you get 2020, 68 players make the cut.
Two people got
Two people. And then 2019 was 62. So, like, honestly, for me, I'm rooting for, like, one guy.
One guy.
Just
It's a depressing flight
oh
home.
my gosh. Could you imagine? Just imagine, like, you miss the cut by one
stroke.
and you are the only guy that has to leave.
You're like emptying your locker.
All these other guys
Everyone
are like,
else going,
sorry, man.
oh,
So you go through like that
embarrassing.
4-footer you missed right now is just like, you might quit golf.
Yeah.
You imagine being the one person they cut in
It's
the
like
70 man.
sliding through the leaderboard. It's showing all the scores. It gets to the last
Projected.
page. Just one guy.
It's just the projected cuts 2 under and it's just one name.
guy.
Oh no.
It's like, oh, it's so embarrassing.
Oh, that would be total mayhem if they were going to do that.
So that's kind of their combat of a cut.
Yeah, they can
Will
call it
having
a cut, but more,
really
you know,
not many people.
if you're playing well there's a chance all 70 could make the cut.
And really, you don't have to play that well. I mean,
you got to be within 10
within
shots of the
10
lead. You just
strokes.
got to hope the leader doesn't go out and shoot 62 or something like
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
But so that'll be interesting. I'm kind of rooting for mayhem down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And just hope that either nobody gets cut.
It's a cut event with no cuts.
Or you get one person to get cut. That'd be hilarious.
It's got to be history. The first time a cut event has no cuts. If no one was to get cut.
That would be crazy. Would you imagine like a 150 person field doing that?
With staying within 10 strokes of the leader, no one gets cut.
Everybody's top 50 in ties. Like, it's all 3 under par.
So is this something, if we see something where it's like no one's really cut or 10 people are cut or something like that, is this something they could like implement into other tournaments?
I would imagine like their other elevated events, just because I think they certainly have to hear the blowback they're getting from their no cut events after they criticize the live structure so much that I'm sure this would stick around.
Okay.
I'd have a pretty good feeling about it.
Yeah.
So, we had a big show about Riviera last year. You weren't on the podcast. We had Tom Dolby on, who played a PGA championship at Riviera.
Okay.
And loves the golf course. It was a great episode. So if you haven't heard that one, go back and listen. That's one with Tom Dolby. I forget what episode it was, but Tom's phenomenal. It's a great golf course. It's a very straightforward golf course when you come to like, okay, let's look at who we're picking this week.
Yep.
Obviously, with an elevated event, short field, a lot of big names in the field. Obviously, Tiger's playing. Then you got Rory's here, Chef's here, JT, Spieth. You got all the big names are coming down to this field to play. Let's see, what hole is it? Is it the 12th hole? That's like one of the best drivable par 4s where it's basically you could go for it or lay up. But if you lay up, it's about 50-50 for like gaining strokes on the field. It's just a super, super good like game time decision hole. But when we look at DraftKings, big thing that I took away from this is you got to get guys with a hot hand, and you got to get guys who played well here before. Course history is huge.
That was my
and then I was looking at, I saw a tweet with some trends of champions at Riviera, and I'm going to rifle these off here. And this is what I kind of built my team off of. But 16 of the last 18 winners have played this course at least 4 times.
16 of the last 18.
So they've played here at least 4 years. 14, which is a pretty good track record. 16 of 18. Course history. 14 of the last 18 were 12th or higher in previous years. So they placed 12th or higher. 14 of 17 winners have played at Pebble or TPC Scottsdale their previous starts.
Wow.
So they're playing either last week or the week before playing here. So if they take any more time off than that, stats say you're not really looking all that great. 14 of 16 winners were 29 years or older. And that's how I built my team. I went a lot off of that one.
Which seems to be the theme this year, older people win.
That is true. You got, I don't even know.
Other than Nick Dunlap.
Nick Dunlap was 20.
Yeah, I mean, he was unbelievable.
Kirk, Murray, Clark, Taylor. Yeah. Dunlap's the youngest one, but everybody else is over 29.
Yeah, right around that 30 age.
Yep. Yeah, and then you got your classic favorite. They've played here the best in the last, I think, 8 rounds was the minimum. Top 3, you got Cam Young, Max Homa, and Victor Hovland. In the strokes gain data, this is who they play the best.
Is Victor, do we know if Victor playing this week?
He is. That's why he took the week off, which is probably a good call, in my opinion. Like, if you're not playing well and then you go into that party, way.
Setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. So, that's your guy, though.
That is my guy. Yeah, Victor Hovland's always been my guy. I have avoided him this year. He's kind of been struggling.
Yeah, I didn't really have it. But he took the week off.
He did take the week off. I'm still avoiding him this week, which we can jump into our teams here. If we
let's do that. Let's do that.
Since we're on the topic of it. But yeah,
I had to go first.
You did. You're right. So I'll slide this over to you.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could talk about last week. I don't really want to talk about it, but I'm like legitimately convinced I was last place.
Yeah. I know.
I had 4 guys miss the cuts. Scheffler was my only good pick.
Yeah. Wasn't great. I had 3 guys miss the cut. Mine was pretty much just as bad. Scheffler was my only guy.
Do you remember your points?
We had compared. I was like 3 something.
Okay, I was 2. So here you go.
Beat you by 100.
Take the goat. Mark and Chuck don't get a say.
They don't get a say because they're not here. it was. I think I would assume it was a bad week. I think Chuck and I had similar teams.
It seems like they piggyback off of us.
Yeah,
That was a bad week.
I don't know. It was.
I'm gonna blame it on the crap show that it was.
Let's just blame it on the alcohol. We all were.
It was all bad.
It was all bad.
It was all bad. Nobody was good. Okay, actually, that means you start with your teams if you got your teams.
Oh yeah, I do because I won. Yeah, stop trying to mess this up, Lucas.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into this. Like the favorites, like we talked about, I jumped on the Scheffler. We had to go Scheffler. He's got the hot hand.
How do you not?
You can't not. We've said it
Dude,
every week.
he's gonna be like 10th in putting, and he's gonna run away with it.
Eventually, when he gets his putting down, it's gonna be.
He plays well here too, by the way.
Yeah. I then went the route we were talking with favorites, past winners, Max Homa.
Yeah,
I love.
He's a
Max
West Coast boy.
Yeah, he's been playing well too.
Yep, he plays well here.
And then Adam Scott, older, and he has won here before.
Yeah, he plays well here.
Yeah, so I went 3 very expensive. Then I went a little cheaper. Luke List got the hot hand too. He's been playing well.
Wasn't he on our team last week?
Yeah, he didn't.
He didn't play well last week.
But the weeks before.
He's good.
So
you can't play well at Phoenix. Nobody plays well there.
Then I went with him last week, and he made the cut. And he did decent. I don't remember what place he got exactly, but Bo Hostler.
Okay, I was looking at Bo.
Yeah, Mark and I had him last year. I had to go cheaper, so
kind of handcuffed you.
And then Brandon Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Not a huge fan.
So you went high-low.
High-low. I went high-low. And I went for, Brandon Todd and both, Luke List and Brandon Todd, both a little older. I'm hoping they're going
to be your horses that are over 29 years old.
Yeah, they're my long shots. It's the
year of the long shot.
I like that. So I was banking on those two. We'll see what happens. There's, like I said earlier, there's so many long shots. You have to get so lucky.
Why not Luke List? Why not Luke List? Luke List. He's a winner. He's a winner before.
Yeah.
He could do it again.
He will.
At Riv. All right. I did notice one glaring exception. You're not taking Tiger Woods.
I'm not. And I was going to talk to you about it. He is so cheap.
Yeah, he's like 6,500.
65, 66. But no, I'm avoiding Tiger Woods. I don't know.
That's a good, spoiler alert, he's not on my team either. But yeah, he hasn't played. He's a little distracted with this whole
He's got the line now.
Maybe it's in the script, though, where he wins in the first tournament in Sunday Red.
Maybe I'll throw together another lineup.
Throw another one in there with him?
Behind the scenes.
He is so cheap at 6,500.
For a second, when I was scrolling, I'm like, did he withdraw?
There's no way he's going to be the one person that gets cut. at his tournament.
Hosting his own event.
It's the one.
Dropping his new clothing line. He's the only one 11 strokes out of the lead. See ya. Tiger Woods misses the cut. Breaking news: 69 players make the cut.
Oh,
the Riviera. No. Tiger Woods is the only one.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, I'll say it. I didn't have him on my squad either. So I went more middle of the road.
Okay.
Middle of the road. I also had Scheffler on there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
You have to.
He plays well here. Plus, it's really funny. I'm looking at his picture right now, and it's just like the biggest whatever look on his face that he's got. He's like, well, what do you do?
What do you do?
All right, so I went Scheffler, and then who's my most? Sahith Theegala.
Yeah, played well.
He's played well here. He's only played. So Sahith was probably my only one that doesn't fit any of the trends. Younger than 29. He hasn't played here 4 times.
Not a long shot.
He has placed in the top 12 or higher, and he's not really a long shot, but he did. So he was more the middle too. He's played here before. He's finished in the top 12, and he played Pebble and TPC.
I like it.
So I'm going hot hand. Yeah, I'm going hot hands.
He was up there for a while.
Just got to make the cut. Then we went to where did we go to? Cam Young.
Mm-hmm.
I took the strokes gain favorite.
Yep.
Plus he played well last week too. Already got a top 10. Okay. Cam Young. Then I went Adam Scott. I love the Adam Scott pick.
Did you?
He played well. He made a little run here on Sunday. He's over. He fits a lot of the trends.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he can make some birdies. Plus he's got one of the best looking swings on tour.
Yeah, he does. Beautiful.
Then I fit in Tom Hoagie.
I looked at Tom for a while. Just couldn't get myself to do it.
He's placed top 12 before.
Mm.
He's older than 29.
He plays well out at West Coast.
I think he's played 3 times, so he's close. He does play well at the West Coast. and he plays both Pebble and TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah.
This is his 7th week in a row playing, so he might be a little tired. But
Lucky number 7.
he's gotta play well because he's got to get inside the top 50 in the FedEx. So pressure's on.
Yeah.
I'm actually weirdly high on Tom Hoagie right now.
Okay.
I think it could be a breakthrough.
I like it.
And then I rounded out with Matt Kuchar.
Yeah. He's for sure over 29 years old.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
He's played here at least 4 times.
I think so.
He had a couple good finishes, nothing crazy, but I needed a price point. He was 6,400. But he's placed top 10 a couple times. So I went heavy on the trends.
Yeah, you did. You were a big trend.
I was a big
You're
trendsetter.
kind of a trendsetter today.
I am a trendsetter. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, none of us taking Tiger Woods. That's going to be fun to watch. I mean, you're just going to have every person on the planet watching him that knows anything about golf. And I'm interested to see, I think, for his clothing brand, I'm interested to see if there's other colors besides red, white, and black.
Yeah. There was I saw a camo.
Oh, yeah,
It was
yeah.
like
A gray. Was it green or
I
gray?
thought it was green. Maybe my brightness of my phone was too low.
I thought it was like black, gray camo.
Well, it's camo.
But
it's camo a color. Combo of colors. I guess it's not a specific color.
It'd have to be a combination of colors. It's a design. Yep.
He has a design. One design.
Yep.
Camo.
So it'd be interesting to see what they throw out there for his. I think, I said, I think the athletic wear, lifestyle wear, 100% I'm buying that.
Oh, yeah. I would assume they're going to have him wear clothes that he has not shown us. Would be my thought.
Yeah. Drum up some big deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Show us some.
Okay. If you're not watching for the golf, at least watch for the Sunday Red.
Yeah.
On Thursday.
You think how tight you think the shirt will be?
Oh my gosh, dude, his biceps are going to be pumping out of that thing. He's going to be fresh off a nice bench press session, and then he's going to get the smallest possible shirt he can fit over his head.
Yep.
Just to show it off.
Just to show his biceps.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Guy is
good for him.
Huge. All right. Heck of a show. This was nice to get the adults out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little live without being ridiculed.
Little Taylor Swift.
Little T Swizzle.
Football.
A lot of football talk actually on this one.
Yeah, good.
Not bad. Any final parting words?
You're going down 1-on-1 again.
1v1. I'll take another drink too for the other bet. Yep. All right, that's going to do it for us here for this round. Join us next time for another round here at Sweet Shots. We'll catch you next time.